Hi everyone, JJ here. Welcome back. Well, are Elon Musk lies finally catching up with them? That's the thesis of this article from Forbes. Elon Musk's self-driving Tesla lies are finally catching up to him. They say for nearly a decade, Elon Musk has claimed Teslas can truly drive themselves. They can't. That's right, nearly a decade. I've shown many clips on this channel, on this pod, about him saying things like that for a long time now. Now, California regulators, a Miami jury, and a new class action suit are calling him on it. Now, I've had videos about all of those things, but this also today from the Wall Street Journal. Tesla hasn't filed crash reports on time. Federal investigators want to know why. Some accidents involving EVs' automated driving technology weren't submitted for months. So these cases and investigations seemingly piling up. And this one from Electric today as well. Tesla self-driving videos don't do anything. Give us the data. We'll get into that a little bit too. So Fred Lambert here is making the point that there are a lot of videos out there from the Tesla influencers, the Elon Jellicals saying how great it drives. Tesla putting videos out with, perfect self-driving. I'll show you one video where it's still not like that. There are many examples where it doesn't drive perfectly. So seems to be a little bit of a false sense of security. We're giving them that. And some of these court cases are about that. Let's get into this one, see what they say. A federal judge in San Francisco just greenlit a class action lawsuit by Tesla owners to sue the carmaker for exaggerated claims by CEO Elon Musk and the company about the self-driving capability of its electric vehicles that stretch all the way back to 2016. Now, I've done a separate video about this case, so I won't get into that, but this article has some more interesting things to say. It's the latest blow to plans by the world's richest person to reposition Tesla as a leader in artificial intelligence and autonomous driving amid a dramatic slowdown in its EV sales. So I've covered all those things, the dramatic slowdown in sales, especially in Europe when Elon went into far-right politics. Europeans obviously noticed and did not like it, even though it was in the US. He also supported far-right parties in Europe as well. So Forbes says it wasn't true then and it still isn't, and they're referring to this. The full autonomy hardware suite will be standard on all vehicles Tesla makes from here on out, Musk said, when fully utilized at some later date as the AI-enabled software was refined. An array of digital cameras, ultrasonic sensors, and radar would give Tesla full level 5 autonomy, a designation indicating a robotic ability to drive under all conditions. Saying that that is not true, and it still isn't. And Tesla has gone to cameras and the AI solution, pivoting along the way. But really, the miles between interventions still aren't there to get that level 4 or level 5 autonomy. They've got safety monitor in the car in Austin and the passenger seat. And in California, they've got the safety driver behind the wheel, which looks more like an Uber, really. They talk about the mounting court cases here. The legal setbacks aren't a huge financial problem, at least so far, but a reputational one as they undercut Musk's continued rhetoric about Tesla being a leader in autonomous driving despite hard evidence to support it. Now, Tesla refuses to release the data, which the Electric article talks about. They're not releasing it. It has to be crowdsourced data, which is inaccurate. A lot of the Elon Jellicals, the Tesla influencers, say it's inaccurate, but Tesla doesn't release the data to prove that it's level 4 or that it is perfect or near perfect. On the other hand, Alphabet's Waymo, which operates commercial robotaxis in 5 major cities and is testing in 10 more, has solidified its position in the dominant player in that space. And I've brought videos to you about that too, about Tesla versus Waymo and how Waymo is fully autonomous. There's nobody in the car, and they've had 10 million plus paid rides fully autonomous so far. Musk said on Tesla's results call that the company would ultimately overtake Waymo because its system is much cheaper. Though a robotaxi pilot Tesla launched in Austin in June with human safety drivers in the front seat suggests it has a long way to go to catch up. Yes, they're just doing invite only at the moment, but they haven't opened it up to the public yet. Elon said that they will soon. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when they do. Now, this is interesting about the level that they're at. Prior to the start of the test program in Austin, where Tesla is based, the company's engineers had told regulators that despite the names Autopilot and full self driving, its system is technically classified as level 2 autonomy. Remember, they have to get to level 4, providing driver assistance, but requiring humans at the wheel to be ready to take over at any time. So that's where they're sitting at the moment. In its current robotaxi pilot, in addition to a safety tech sitting in the front of the vehicle, a tech, an engineer, which is supposedly be quite expensive compared to an Uber driver, Tesla is also relying on remote operators to monitor its fleet and provide driving assistance when problems arise, like almost running into an oncoming train. So I talked about that in a video. One of the invited influencers, he didn't catch it on video, but he did talk about it. He admitted that it wasn't going to stop for a railroad crossing with the crossing arms coming down, train coming. It just wasn't going to stop, and so they had to intervene. That is a really dangerous situation, obviously. Now, I think this is important about the cases entitled puffery here. In court cases, attorneys for Tesla have argued that comments by Musk are puffery, which I remember a long time ago I did a video about that where they actually won a case saying what Elon was saying was just corporate puffery. Not sure how long they're going to get away with that for, or for too much longer. So boastful exaggerations that aren't meant to be taken literally is what they said. So you're not supposed to believe what Elon says about this stuff. Yet that's not something typically seen with auto companies, given the improper concern for customer safety can result in massively expensive liability lawsuits and legal repercussions, not to mention fatalities if the safety isn't what it's supposed to be. Tesla has largely avoided both until recently, despite the fact that an estimated 59 fatalities have been linked to the use of autopilot and FSD, according to data compiled on TeslaDeaths.com. This is it. So this site says there's Tesla death toll is 734, Tesla autopilot deaths count 59. Now, I'm sure this would have to be worked out actually in a court. Some of these cases, Tesla would say that's not because of the autopilot or anything like that. And that Miami case, the Florida case, that was what that was about, and 33% Tesla's fault. The jury said so. This was a jury trial, not just a judge, not just a corrupt judge, as influencers would say. And Tesla will appeal that, of course. Now, moving to this article, the Wall Street Journal. Tesla hasn't filed crash reports on time. Federal investigators want to know why. So, the Wall Street Journal, which Elon Musk hates, but it's not exactly a left-leaning organization. By the way, if you're getting value out of this episode so far, I'd really appreciate it if you remember to hit that like button to help the algorithm to spread it to more people. Thanks. So this one's about the top US safety regulator is investigating multiple delays by Tesla to submit crash reports that involve automated driving systems. So specifically about this automated system, Tesla, along with other automakers, was required to submit a report tied to advanced driver assistance systems within 1 or 5 days of learning about the incidents, depending on the severity or technology, according to a government order issued in 2021. So this is not specific to Tesla. All of the companies would have to do this. Now, Tesla has reported numerous crashes tied to its advanced driver assistance technology months after the incidents occurred. Months, not days or weeks, months. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, said in its filing published on Thursday. So obviously this will be ongoing. It's new. As I said, these things are stacking up. They're seemingly stacking up. So this is going to really drag out for a long time. And that one in Florida where Tesla lost, which was over $250 million in damages, they will appeal that one. But these are significant. And as they said, it's not just financial. And I was talking to somebody on social media And they were saying, that Tesla could handle this if they had all of these lawsuits, even if it was a big amount every so often. But I said to them, it's not really about their money, or it's not only about the money, it's about the reputational damage, the brand damage. So when Elon went into far right politics, it definitely hurt the brand. They lost sales in Europe. Sales went down, and there were excuses for that, that the Model Y refresh was coming out, but it continued on after that. And it was definitely, I think, because of Elon's politics. And so reputational damage can really hurt a brand, not just beyond, the fines from actual court cases. People see this stuff. And here we have this article, Fred Lambert from Electric. Tesla self-driving videos don't do anything. Give us the data. So Fred's been increasingly critical. He used to be one of the Tesla supporters. Tesla continues to post videos of its vehicles driving autonomously with an employee in the driver's seat as proof it is making progress in autonomous driving. Also, the Tesla influencers like Omar and others do videos where they just post them of perfect driving for hours. Of course, they wouldn't post it if it made a mistake, which undoubtedly it does sooner or later. However, there is one thing that Tesla has never shared, and that's actual data. Over the past few months, Tesla has been consistently posting videos of its full self-driving FSD testing in various countries, as well as videos of owners testing FSD supervised. Version 13 and version 14 is about to come out. Elon says it's going to be, a step change, going to be so much better, but he has said that before. However, when asked for proof of Tesla's progress toward autonomous driving, CEO Elon Musk often points people to those videos, or he suggests trying Tesla FSD supervised for themselves. However, this is anecdotal evidence at best, and I agree with that. While it can be impressive, it's not a reliable metric for tracking progress towards Tesla's promise of unsupervised self-driving in customer vehicles. I agree with that. It has to be data because there's hundreds of thousands of miles, and you have to get the average of critical interventions, and you can only tell that with data at the moment. It's crowdsourced data, which everybody agrees maybe isn't that reliable. So, but Tesla has this data, which Fred points out in this article. I'm not going to go on, but you can read this for yourself, that they won't release the data, but that they definitely have that data. So it's kind of suspicious that they don't release it. This is Dan O'Dowd, a chief critic, as pointed out in the Forbes article. He points to the problems because there are so many videos put on about how perfect it is, but there are also videos online of it still making mistakes that does not look like it's level 4. This one here, 99% of the time, it won't do the right thing with emergency vehicles. Watch this. Tesla FSD 13.2.9 failed to pull over for an ambulance, forcing the driver to disengage. So this driver says that this is a problem, and it's a known problem, and obviously it's still happening.
Almost certainly going to have to intervene. So this is FSD's inability to understand emergency vehicles, which is definitely not great at all.
It's a known problem, obviously. Now, what do you think about these cases? Do you think that they're mounting up and that it is revealing Elon's lies over the years, and it's finally catching up with all this stuff, including the cases and investigations? It seems like even on a daily basis, or at least weekly, there's something new about this. Is it going to catch up before they can kind of hit the point where it's working properly? Again, I was talking to somebody about this, and they think, what about version 14? What if it actually works as good as Waymo or the next version after that? And I was saying, well, how long is it going to take? Are investors going to wait? The market cap of Tesla is around $1 trillion, and their vehicle sales aren't looking good. Their financials are looking worse and worse. And so this is really being relied on. The pressures on the court cases mounting up, and they haven't come out with a product that is actually autonomous or proving that it is to the correct authority. So how long is this going to take? Let me know what you think about this. And right now I'm going to put a related video right there. Do go and see that now if you want to. And also, I'm going to put a subscribe link on screen here. As always, if you're new to the channel, do subscribe to get more of these kinds of videos. And they're the thumbnails. That's some artwork I've been doing with the thumbnails. And thanks for watching this one. And I'll see you in the next one.